Shalom. Call all Yahweh Ba'ashin Yahushua. This is just a video going in on the reason why the Puerto Ricans and ultimately that area that they're in right now, why all these calamities been falling upon them. Now, of course, you got to keep in mind, too, these Edomites are actual people that run the world and the banking system and a lot of the stuff that goes down on the grid, whether it be on a physical level or electronic level or whatever. Stuff dealing with their heart machine, the CERN, and all that. They can manipulate the weather or manipulate people's moods or spirits, so to speak. But ultimately, Yahweh Shem Yahushua give them, the ability to actually be able to do this stuff. Now, the reason why this stuff going down in Puerto Rico right now real heavy is because the Puerto Ricans are actually the tribe of Ephraim, and I'm gonna get some scriptures to back that up, so you can actually see in clarity exactly who they are. Now, some people, they might not agree because, they'll be like, oh, how these people are part of the tribe and all that. Or you still have some people that be like, all the tribes are dark skinned or whatever. Well, if you go back into history, let me just type this in. Because you do have Puerto Ricans that are dark skinned. Matter of fact, when I was in Florida, down in Jacksonville, a lot of Puerto Ricans I hung around speak fluid Espanol, but they be Puerto Ricans, and they be dark skinned. It looks just like how these pictures look right here. Let me see if I can pull up some. You're seeing they look just like this, man. And then you hear them speaking that Espanol real fast. You're like, what the fuck? Well, that's just how it is. People from Trinidad, Dominican Republic, especially the Dominicans. A lot of Dominicans, they got a funny stigma against Levi, which is the Haitians. And some of the Dominicans be darker than Levi, which is crazy, man. But hey, that's just part of the curses of how people losing their heritage and not knowing who they are. Now, in the book of Hosea, which Yahweh Hashem Yahushua set it up perfect by naming this book Hosea, because let me type in something else just for edification. Let's see, is Hosea popular? And this girl that I met up here, where I'm at in Ohio, recently. I won't say recently, but last year I was dating her. She got a family member named Hosea, so that's in the family, man. That's just what it is. I'm gonna just type this in just for edification's sake, so I can just show before I read this, I should say. Just read some stuff right here. It said, what is Ephraim in Hosea? It said, according to the Hebrew Bible, the tribe of Ephraim, Ephraim, it says, was one of the tribes of Israel. The tribe of Manasseh, which are the Cubans. It says the tribe of Manasseh together with Ephraim formed the house of Joseph. It is one of the 10 lost tribes. And I'm going to go into some scriptures about those 10 lost tribes. Because they weren't lost. Matter of fact, when Columbus came over here, he came over here with a Hebrew translator. And I was trying to find some stuff on here to bring this out, but I ain't going to dig too much. I'm going to try to make this video kind of short. I don't want to stretch it out too long. Let's see. Popular, um, popular names. Let's see. I ain't gonna dig too much further into that, man, because they got all type of different stuff on here. I really have to search in the full detail to go into some Puerto Rican names, because they Puerto Rican's name a lot of people Jose, Hosea, Miguel, Raphael, all type of different little names, man. Um, Mikey. Um, I know some women with the last name actually Ephraim. Um, let's see some other names. Pablo, and so on and so on. Man, that's crazy. This woman texting me right now. She gotta wait though, man. I gotta bring this out because it's some important information. But yeah, man, it's just Ephraim is the Puerto Ricans, man. Ultimately, that's the main point I wanted to make, and I'm gonna break it down with these scriptures right here. And Lord's willing, it's edifying. But in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, let me go to the right verse. Chapter 4, verse 17, it said, Ephraim is joined to idols, let him alone. Now, I guarantee you, when I type in Puerto Rican idols, what's going to pop up? I ain't trying to see no fucking American Idol or no Puerto Rican Idol. Nah, this would they do down in Puerto Rico. They got a bunch of this down there. That ain't your house shout. That ain't Mary either. You got a bunch of this down there, man. Jesus Cristo. That's what they call it. That's all you see. And I've been around a lot of Puerto Ricans' house, man. And they have this everywhere. As soon as you walk in the door, the rosary beads, all type of stuff, man. And don't get it twisted, man. You know, Ephraim. Hey, they some the ones that I hung around. They were some real people. They treated me good. You know, they had a zeal, like the scriptures say, my people have a zeal, but not according to knowledge. So they had a zeal for the Lord, but not according to knowledge. They didn't actually know what was up. But they celebrated that Day de la Muerte. Um, they do that Brujeria, Santeria shit. And that's why y'all about Shin Shot jacking them up down there, hitting them with all them earthquakes. And just recently on this video, I'm gonna read this and I'm gonna read some more of the scriptures. It says, this was recently what yesterday. Date down there. It says space rock explodes over Puerto Rico, which is another cut to you niggas. They like to come out talking about the firmament is talking about it's a dome over the earth. Ain't no fucking dome over the earth. If there's a dome over the earth, how in the fuck do an asteroid or a meteor get through it? But anyway, they say for the past 2 weeks, strong earthquakes have been shaking the Caribbean islands of Puerto Rico. Yesterday, it was actually 2 days ago. It said January 17th, the islanders felt an additional jolt, but this one came from the sky. It said amidst the earthquake swarm that we were currently experiencing here in Puerto Rico, we were also nearly impacted by a giant rock from space, reports Frankie Lucina of Cabo Rojo, Puerto Rico. Said the explosion is shown in this weather satellite image from GOES 16. Now, and another thing I want to mention about them showing this on the satellite, when they be looking for them planes and shit, they be going down, they be saying they don't know where they at. They know the fuck them planes be at. If they could see a damn meteor, asteroid or some shit explode over the ocean, and they know exactly where it exploded at, but they can't find where the fucking planes at. Get the fuck out of here. But anyway, though, I just want to point that out. We're back in the book of Hosea, and chapter 4, and verse. Let me see what else I'm going to. I'm gonna read it one more time. It says in verse 17, Ephraim is joined to idols. Leave him alone. And when it says him, it's mentioning Ephraim as a whole, because they still do that to this day, man. Them altars they got in them bodegas and all that shit, man. Hey, they go hard with that shit. They say their drink is sour. They have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye. And this year, man, hey, that storm season that's finna go hit down there this year, yeah. That's even if we get all the way to that point and still be here. But man, once that chip get pushed, that's gonna be a real turning point on how society finna flip. But when the storm season actually take place though, because spring right around the corner, it ain't gonna take too long. You got spring and then summer. We almost in February already. But in the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 19, it says, the wind hath bound her up in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. And that's what's happening down there. That wind, they be blowing down there, all them storms that be coming down there. That's why they be sweeping through there. That recent one that went down there and tore up the island like that. It's going to be another one, man, because Ephraim proud, too. You could tell him, you can go to the scriptures and tell him the name Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And that Jesus Christo, with how he really look, they don't want to hear that, man. They don't want to hear about no dark skin, man. They don't want to bow down to Le Negro. They want to bow down to Le Gringo. That's what they want to bow down to. But that's Ephraim for you, man. That's just how proud they are. But Yahweh Hashem, Yahushua, he gonna humble them. That's what he doing right now. He humbling them with these calamities. And it's another verse I want to go into, because I posted it on the guy video just for edification's sake. Cause I know people be reading the comments, so I put stuff in the little comments just so people can see if they looking for certain answers. And the main thing is backing it up with the scriptures. This in the book of Hosea, chapter 8, verse 11, say, because Ephraim hath made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him to sin. So, let's see, we go back into it again. That's how you know who is who, man. Because the scriptures will break down characteristics of what certain people do. Like the Negroes being Judah, being the head tribe. Everybody want to be a Jew. You know why? Because the real original Jews are the Negroes. That's why we do most of the stuff you see. And how people set the trends of the earth, even in the lower state, how people set the trends of the earth. So imagine how people be in a righteous state. How it's gonna be. Well, yeah, here go Ephraim right here. This Santeria, Brujeria shit. That's Ephraim, man. You can't make this up, man. The scriptures clearly point out exactly who Ephraim is. Let me read it one more time. It says, because Ephraim have made many altars to sin, altars shall be unto him to sin. And here you go, man. These are the altars they be making. Got Jesus Cristo over there in the cut. And see right here, it says African descendants in Puerto Rico, which when they talk about African, because people throw that word around loosely, not knowing what it means. They use that word to describe dark-skinned people, but you have to really get fully in detail to know the table. You got to know the table of nations, because over in Africa, which is actually the land of Ham and Cush, you had Israel scattered over there. So them African descendants, they actually talking about in Puerto Rico, which actually Israel. And I'm gonna tell you how they got over there. Now, in the book of Second Ezra, in chapter 13 and verse 39, I'm gonna read it on down. It says, and whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him, those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hoshea the king, who Salmanazar the king of Assyria led away captive, and he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land. But they took this counsel among themselves that they would leave the multitude of the heathen and go forth into a further country where never mankind dwelt. Now let's look up this country where they came to, because I know where they came to, but people like to play these games and play stupid. So I just gotta make sure I show stuff while I'm making this video. Just trying to let me find a good map real quick so I can see exactly what I'm looking for. Let me see if I can pull it over the Euphrates and then should we Let me see Euphrates River. Oh, what do you know? Here we go. Now they got the old map right here where it's mentioned. It got Ham, where Ham was at. It got Shem, not Sim. And you got them putting this shit in the news, talking about anti-Semitic. The term was Shem. It wasn't no Sim. But anyway, you had our people that came from out of this region over here and went around the Horn of Africa, mentioned in the scripture. Now it says, back in verse 42, it says that they might keep their statues, because where our people was at in captivity, we couldn't keep the law. Just like almost over here, like we just say you want to call in from work and be like, hey, I can't come to work today. I'm trying to keep the Shabbat. Hey, they're gonna fire your ass more than likely. If you try to tell them that you're keeping the high holy days and so on and so on. and people shun that. But you want your birthday off or some other shit, they cool with it. Stuff like eating pork or whatever. In this society, that's looked upon as a delicacy when really we ain't even supposed to be eating stuff like that. So that was going on back then in them ancient captivities. But our people, they had that zeal, so they was like, look, we finna go somewhere else so we can keep these laws and worship Yahweh, and, in full spirit. So this is exactly what happened. It says, and they entered into Euphrates by the narrow places of the river, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they were passed over. Because you look at this region of water over here. Let me find a more modern map. This water was real turbulent, especially coming back up in through here and all that different stuff like that. So he had to hold that water. So all they basically did was travel and went downward. And then when you look on, let me find another map and see, because I'm trying to make sure I get a good visual. They got all these different maps on it. And once they went down this way, then they came around and went southward. Went southward, and that's going to break it down even more. When you read the scripture, it says, for the Most High then showed signs for them, and held still the flood till they would pass over. For through that country there was a great way to go, namely, over a year and a half, and the same region is called Asherah. Then dwelt they there until the latter time. And now when they shall begin to come, the highest shall stay the springs of the stream again, that it may go through. Therefore sawest thou the multitude of peace. Now, let me look up this other information. What was the guy name? I want to say his name was DeSoto or something like that. The guy that came with Christopher Columbus. Because Columbus and they knew who was over here when they came over here. So the tribes, they wasn't lost. That's just something they came up with, talking about the lost tribes. Oh, Salaki. His name is Luis de Torres. It says, was Christopher Columbus's official translator on his first voyage to the New World, which was talking about where the tribes went at. They said Columbus hoped the reason why he brought his translator because they knew who was over here. If they ain't know where nobody was at, they wouldn't have need no translator, right? They could have just came the fuck over here and they would have tried to make out whatever they were saying and figured it out. But it says Columbus hoped the Torres' Jewish origins would enable communication with local Jewish traders in Asia to presume and hope for a destination, which is bullshit because they knew where they was going at. But they didn't actually land in so-called North America first. They ended up going southward towards Hispaniola and them areas right down there. But Israel was all over here. Even prior to that, you had Solomon sending his ships and stuff over here to do trade. So Israel had been over here and flourishing and building up. So that's why you got pyramids in Egypt that look just like pyramids, over there. I want to say, where is that? Let me see where the Mayan pyramids at. Exactly. I want to say it's in Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, in Mexico. So that's why you see pyramids, because people be like, oh, the the ancient gods of the ancient alien, which technically, hey, when they say the ancient gods, they are talking about Israel, because the scriptures clearly say that you are gods, but you should die like men. And then the word alien just goes back to a stranger from a strange land. So we was really from a different land. We were just strangers in a different region. So, but the shit they try to put on it, the spin they try to put on it, that's talking about some aliens with some green big heads and shit with big ass eyes and all that. That ain't true, man. The science behind these pyramids ain't as outlandish as they would think it is, man. You take vibration from sound and you want to lift something, all you need is a right vibration and you can lift the heaviest stones with ease. They'll literally be sliding around. People do it all the time when they do them little car shows and put cups and um, different objects, different seats and chairs or whatever by a car and let the speaker play. But yeah, I'm gonna pull that up because last time I said that in a video. I ain't put it up or whatever. Let me go look. You know how the pyramids look in Egypt. I ain't gotta pull that up. I'm gonna pull this actual thing up in the video. Cause this just goes to show, man, the people that everybody been looking down on in society are the people that Yahweh Hashem Yahushua love the most. And that's another thing how people can't grasp either because they've been in such a docile state. And in this weak mind frame, they scared to be holy. You tell them that, oh, we the greatest people on earth. Nah, everybody equal. Like, come on, man. You clear to see the attributes, man. Somebody gotta be the top of the chain. Only reason why these Edomites on top of the chain right now because they've been given this power that they got right now. But this power slipping out of their palms right now. Let me pull this up. Let me turn this damn music down because I don't want to hear this shit blasting. I just want to give like a little visual of what they actually was doing. If you got the right drums and them shit's beating loud enough and hard enough, and you got a lot of people doing it at the same time, you can move stuff. I should have been more specific when I talked to you. I should have known it was gonna show me some silly shit. Okay, here you go. Perfect example right here. It say, can you move a 10-pound dumbbell only using sound? And you can clearly see, man, to these Edomites, they try to come out and be like, oh, the ancient gods gave them technology to lift the stones. But they ain't need them with sound waves, man. That was it, man. And that was the trials, man. Because our people just got that type of mind frame that makes it easy. Even now, like all the greatest inventions now. Let me see. Watch them move this roll my older speaker. Even the greatest inventions come from adversity because people try to make stuff easy. So they ain't got to put too much strain and stress on themselves. So best believe our people's coming up with all type of different stuff, man. But ultimately, the main point I want to make in this video, this is why Ephraim is going through this right now. And Yahweh Shem Yahushua said he was going to bring the judgment on the tribes of Israel. And I'm going to look for this other one. Let me see. This other scripture. Now I'm going to just end this off with this. It's in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 30. But yeah, I'm going to start at verse 29. It says, and this is what the people say, man, even still to this day. Not even just Ephraim, you got all the other tribes, Manasseh, Gad, Reuben, Naphtali, Asher, Issachar, Simeon. Who else I'm forgetting? I don't know, I might not say Manasseh. But Manasseh, all the way up to Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. It says, yet says the house of Israel, the way of the Lord is not equal. O house of Israel, are not my ways equal? Or not your ways unequal? Because our people, they don't like balance. They don't like order. Like, you go around people and try to put shit in order and do stuff in a balanced manner. If a person got some sense, they're going to like that. But most people, man, they don't like that shit. They're like, why you got to be so perfect? Why I got to be so neat? And I hear that a lot myself. Because I like stuff to be in order. It says in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 30, I'm going to just end this off with this. And that's why you see space rocks and shit flying over the Puerto Rico, earthquakes. The next thing you know, there's going to be all type of stuff breaking out. And hey, and that's just hitting all these tribes down there. Wait till Yahweh shall really start jacking up the southern kingdom, because he started with the northern first. The southern kingdom consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Ultimately, Israel going to get judged as the whole. And this scripture right here talks about it. It's in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 30, says, therefore I will judge you, O house of Israel, every one according to his ways, says the Lord Yahweh, repent, and turn yourselves from all your transgressions, so iniquity shall not be your ruin. Hey, you Puerto Ricans, man, you Ephraimites, ultimately all you Israelites, man, hey, get yourself together, because this judgment that's about to take place on this earth, man, don't nobody want to be a part of these nooks. They got some sense. Of the famine, die from no damn diseases, no plagues and shit like that, man. There's all type of stuff that's about to break loose. Die by these heathens, because when Esau come down with their troops and all this different stuff, they got FEMA troops, UN troops, NATO, and whoever else, whatever other branch they got. Hey, man, you don't want to taste that sword, man. So, like the scripture say, repent and turn away from your iniquity, man. Don't let it be your downfall. And Lord's one, this is edifying call all y'all by Yahushua. Shalom to the elect. Y'all, man, y'all keep pushing, man. Keep putting these videos up. Esau getting heated, so they doing more psyops, so they just fulfilling prophecy. Shalom.